Hey everyone, this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to talk about AI and machine learning and what's happening in the latest technology, but instead I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. I'm going to go over what are the things that I have learned and helped me a lot during my life. I'm going to share it with you. I think everyone has some wisdom and you don't necessarily need to learn from a very amazing and successful person. You can still join and engage in this conversation and let me know in the comment what you guys think. I'm going to go over what was my plan for 2024 and what I'm gonna do for 2025 and what you guys can do to actually manage your life and try to see what you're doing and which stage of life are you at. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Welcome everyone to your channel, AI Fun Fact for All. For those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Pedro Magan. I have a PhD in computer science and I have extensive knowledge in AI and machine learning. And in this video, we talk about the latest technology and how we can use to optimize our life. But this video, as I mentioned, is a little bit different. I'm not going over the latest technology, but instead I want to talk a little bit about what I have learned and what are the most important things that helped me through my journey. I don't consider myself to be a very successful person, but definitely I have developed some self-improvement and I think it's a good idea that I can share it with you and maybe you guys can also resonate, and let me know in the comments what idea do you have about these things, and then I can also learn from you guys. I think YouTube and this kind of environment is a very good place that you can share this knowledge with each other. And also, this is the last video of 2024. I'm going to talk about a piece of document that I have used from last year, and I talk about what I have accomplished and what are my goals for the next year. It is actually gotten from Ali Abdaal, is my favorite influencer, and teach about basically personal development and being effective in your life. So I will go over that. I will put a link. I have made some minor changes to it. I will share that link on the description of the video so you can fill it, and then it's a good idea that you can look at it again on the next year. It is better that you actually do it more frequently. So basically every 3 months you come and check how your goals align from your current status and you are actually moving towards what you're planned to be. But there's something special about New Year that makes it kind of like different from other times, and I think this is very good, important that you can actually reflect on yourself, your own personal development, from financial situation, from your general life, physics, social and any other aspects of life that you think it is important for you. You want to see how you're doing and you want to somehow picture what is your perfect future. And in addition, there's also some thoughts on basically some wisdom that I've learned. This is by no means something that I have personally developed, but this is something that I have learned through my experience and work and life, and I think it resonated with me a lot and I want to share it with you. So we talk about your major milestone, like what have you accomplished. It will help you to feel better. We talk about the challenges, the growth, development, the aspiration, the surprises, something that happens that very surprising for you through the day, and gratitude and self-care and relationships, all of the different aspects of life, and it kind of learn you that life is not just one direction. We will get to that shortly as well. Professional development and what you need to do looking for, kind of like a goal. And then it's also talk about your future. What's your perfect future North Star look like? And I think it's also a very good idea that we sometimes forget about what is the purpose of our life or what the perfect future would look like, especially if you do it before and then you look at it again and you see that, oh, I actually think like that and now it has changed for me, or how am I aligned, or things that I'm doing is kind of related. All right, now in this part I want to talk a little bit about what I have learned so far and what I think are some good wisdom that I use in my everyday, and I think it's good that we can share, and let me know in the comment what you guys think. The first is balance in life. Even though it's very easy to say that, okay, you shouldn't do too much of one thing, you should have consider your balancing life, work-life balance and so on. Although this is something that everybody agrees on, but it's definitely easier said than done. So you always agree that, okay, I have to balance with my life, I have to consider different aspects in my life, but I have kind of a little bit different idea in that, which I think life is a multi-objective optimization. You have multiple different things that you need to consider, and in order to get the optimized value or optimal value, it's definitely not something on the edges. So the edges would be an extreme cases on wanting to achieve extreme of one aspect in your life. For example, you're a programmer, you do very great in programming, but I think and I believe actually the optimal point in life happens to be somewhere in the middle. So definitely, if you do too much good in some part and then on some other part you're actually lacking, and you don't have any social skills, you don't have anything about your health, about your relationship and so on, that's definitely not optimal life. Let me know in the comment how you guys try to do to not being too much attached to what you are good at and try to forget other things, how you balance different things in life. And the things that I shared actually try to show you what are the different things that you should consider in life. Is it just money? Is it just your status? Or is it just health? And so on. I believe a combination of all of this, a well-crafted human that consider all of the things at the same time would be the best one. But obviously it is not possible to be the best out of each one because we have limited resources, we have limited time, and so many other things. So what I think, what is the hack that you can do? The first thing is that you need to find your competitive edge. So find something that you're really good at, and don't be confined to just one thing. I would say maybe try to choose 3 to 4 or 5 things at most, and then try to focus a lot on them. You don't need to be 100%. You don't need to put devoted to them, but you need to be really good at them. Try to work more and more on them, but don't be too much devoted. That lets you not have any other time for the other skills. The learning skills, I believe, is like a exponential, and when you're learning, in order to reach to the 100%, the amount of effort, time that requires is going to exponentially be higher. But then if you want to be in the 90% percentile, 95% percentile, or 99%, the amount of work that you need for an extra 1% is drastically larger. And it is very important that you decide when to stop that. And then from the free time that you will get from not going to be very, very good at those things, you can employ the 80-20 rule, which I think is the most amazing thing. That rule is basically saying that in order to know 80% of a concept, you just need to put and learn 20%. For example, if you want to start a YouTube channel, you don't need to do all of the research and so on. You just need to learn 20% of the things that are required. What are the gadgets? What are the skills? What are the time? How can I speak to it? And so on. And then just start doing it. The same other things for health. Be balanced, be relaxed, try to learn about it. 20% of it is enough to accomplish 80% of the knowledge. And I think that's definitely a very important hack that you can do. Know what you actually like in life, and the reflecting on the year can actually also help us with that. And there's a very famous quote on this. They say you don't necessarily want something just by saying that, oh, I want this so bad. You need to think of it, how much pain are you willing to sacrifice? How much sacrifice are you willing to do in order to reach that? How much pain you're willing to have to get this? Because everything is in life is a trade-off. If you want to achieve something, you need to lose something else. Then you need to balance. You need to see that how much important is it. So it's not going to be like a very ideal world that, oh, I want this, so I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to keep other things. No, definitely there's a balance. Try to learn your strengths and your weaknesses. I would say everybody talk about the strengths and then go to be very good at those. But I would say consider and think about your limitation. For myself, there are some situations that I lack social skills, which I think is really important for me to improve myself and work on it. Or for example, another thing is basically the handling the stress, or having a life that you can achieve a better improvement, or kind of like a status of your mind that is calm. Now, these are very important. So I need, these are the first step is to recognize your limitation. And if you think that there's nothing that you lack, or there's no limitation for you, that is basically your limitation, not being self-aware. So be thankful that I've given that to you. The first step is that you understand that everybody have some limitation. Nobody is perfect. So you when you are recognize that, when you are aware of yourself that, okay, these are my limitations, that's the first step. And then what you need to do, you need to research and learn about the things that can help you with that. For example, for myself, for the social, I have listen to different podcasts and actually try to learn that I need to change my thoughts from being transactional to be giving. So when you think about talking to someone, you need to, if you look at it from a standpoint that you're just giving, the idea of why am I talking to this person, or is it good to talk to this person, what can I give to this person, will completely disappear, because you're not looking at it as a transaction perspective of just giving. Just give them something, and that can be information, that can be donating your money or so on. But just having this mindset of giving and helping, sharing your knowledge, doing whatever, give, and don't expect anything in return. The other thing for myself, which actually related to the stress and not having a calm life, was being perfectionist. So you should avoid that, that everything should happen the best way possible. That's not the case. As I mentioned, it is something in the middle, and you need to be happy from something that you have achieved. Celebrate a small achievement. You don't necessarily to reach a very huge milestone, and also try to avoid comparing yourself. It's kind of like these things, we already have heard about them a lot, but these are actually very true. And if you stop competing yourself, if you stop comparing yourself with someone in the gym that do a lot bigger than you in cares, or for example another one that have a lot more money than you, or somebody else have a very good life, and stop envying that person, you try to learn from them, and try to consider yourself as a different individual, which doesn't just have that single thing, but a combination of them. You will see yourself superior than the other person, but not just in one thing, because you have a you have a package of different things, which makes you unique and at the same time very special. So everyone, I believe, God has made everyone similar, and everybody has some edge and have some benefits. So your goal is to recognize it. It is not like that somebody is better than the others. Everybody has something to offer and be helpful, and this is just about how can you recognize it and how you can employ it. So it is very important that you avoid perfectionism and you avoid being harsh to yourself. This will help you to reach some calm state, and of course, like meditation and yoga and so on will definitely help, which you can get the time off if you go back to the original state, which I said, don't be too much attached to something that you're really good at. So you need to devote some time to some other things, like your health, like your meditation, your mind, and so on, and try to actually build this foundation that it is undisruptible. And when you have that, and when you see yourself as a well-rounded person, you will create those self-confidence. And then by being someone that's trying to be just a giving person, you will try to share this knowledge and you reinforce that sort of positive energy, and you will see how the universe will actually give you back, and you will actually get some more positive feedback, and this is going to be just crazy. There are three other things that I believe are very important, and I found them very surprisingly very helpful. The first one is manifesting your dreams. So what do I mean by that? Let's say you want something in your life, and it is very important, and it's actually kind of like a moonshot. It's very huge, but think yourself in that situation. Write it down. It is very important. Try to look at it so many times. Try to talk to other people about it. This is truly happened for me. I never thought that this is gonna be the case, but this actually happened to me. So hopefully sometime maybe I talk about it, but that was the case for me. Make your good habits frictionless. This is also very important. Try, let's say you want to do some exercise, or you want to do some morning routine. Try to make the process of doing something that is good for you very easy. So for example, when you want to do exercise, try to put the equipment related to exercise close to your bed, or do something similar when you want to do, for example, cleaning your face and so on. So it can be like pretty much anything. Do and try so many different things. Don't be like, oh, I just wanted to have this and so on. No, try multiple different things and embrace the failure. It doesn't matter how much you fail. By the end of the day, they look at how much you win, but how you can win without trying. So it's very important. And sometimes like it's neglected, and you see, oh, a very powerful person and a very interesting person, and you see just the positive stories. But do you know how many times they have tried and failed? I would guarantee that maybe 100 times more than their past, they actually fail and they learn from it. So by just stop doing and overthinking, which is kind of also myself. I'm telling these things because all of them resonated with me, as I mentioned. Try to lose a battle to win a war. I think this is very important and kind of like resonate with some topics in reinforcement learning. You want to sacrifice something in now in order to achieve something bigger and huger. And there is also a very good a quote from Alex Hormozi said that the more the time is for you to get the result from your efforts, the better your result would be. So if you want something that is just very quick and you get it very fast, it's probably not very huge. Everything in the life that is good comes with some patience, and it's really important for you to accept some sacrifice now and try to think ahead about the future. Kind of relate to the idea of lose a battle to win a war. And then try to set goals that are more general rather than something very specific. So for example, instead of saying that I want to work for this company at this role, say something like I want to be helpful in this community and work in, for example, a high-tech company. Don't be too much devoted in the individual, because by the end of the day, those very strict things doesn't really matter. What matters the most is the high level status. And then if you have those high level goals, you will see that you actually achieve it. Also, another thing, I think the idea of fake it until you make it is very true. There are so many times you don't have something, but you will say that I have it, I have done it, and then it will eventually become true because you are working towards it. It's kind of related to the idea of manifesting your dream. I believe these are like different ways that you can say same thing. You want to be in a status that you have dreamed, and then everything in life would work for it. The only thing that I would say you need to do is devotion, is your willingness to suffer pain and go through this and being consistent. The most important thing, the only thing that you need to do is you don't need to be crazy smart. You don't need to put very much time on it. You don't need to struggle. You don't need to die in order to get the goal that you want. You just need to be consistent. Just have a plan that you can do it for long term, and you will see it. And the last but most important one, which is kind of very close to having the optimal life and balancing everything to be a well-mannered person, is happiness. And I really and truly believe happiness is the status, and that is the cornerstone or the goal of everybody. And how you can become happy is by doing all of those things. So it is okay to not be perfect, and I think you should do that. You should stop being perfect, and you should just try to reach your goal. Try to consider some ideas like minimalism, celebrating a small achievements in life. When you do something small, try to celebrate and be happy throughout the way. Don't be harsh too much to yourself. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this kind of video, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you see more information like this. I've created a list of 7 AI tools that I use in my everyday life to make my life easier and kind of give me some competitive edge over others in order to achieve more with less. And I also created this video that I talk about AI agent. I believe AI agent is going to happen in 2025 and it's going to affect lots of groups of people. It's very important that we are aware of it and make ourselves prepared for it. Thanks for watching and see you until the next one.